Today's guest has redefined the meaning of self-improvement.
I maximize all metrics of my life. I've just come to the conclusion, based on anecdotes, based on numbers, that looks are the most important metric, and it would be insane to not prioritize them.
All right, so I'm going to do another reaction video and kind of get my opinions on this guy named Clavicular. I'm pretty late to this. Honestly, I've heard a little bit about him. I haven't done any research or really learned that much about him. That's why I'm going to probably watch a little portion of this podcast, get a little bit of my opinion. But what I do know about this guy is I believe he's either 19 or 20 years old. Super duper to the extreme version of self-improvement. I think he's done meth. I know he's allegedly broken his jaw to make everything grow in a certain way that he wants, and he's very controversial, very polarizing, and I'm gonna watch a little bit of it, kind of get my opinions on this stuff. Right now it kind of reminds me of Patrick Bateman, the real life version of Patrick Bateman. Kind of looks a little bit like him.
He began injecting testosterone at just 14 years old, claiming that natural puberty wasn't optimized for the modern world.
I started with 300 milligrams of testosterone, and I did that for a while, up until I was 16. I'm 100% confident that I made the right decision in my life, and I'm so glad that I look a little bit more mature.
Today at 19, he's garnered a massive audience online, where he says that everything in life is determined by one thing.
So it's $35,000 for a double jaw surgery with full facial implants. I know the amount of money that I'm investing will pay itself off to a huge degree.
In this episode, we'll dive into the psychology of human attraction,
double jaw
explore his
surgery,
philosophies on genetic determinism, and unveil the extreme measures some men take to maximize their looks. What drugs do you take in a day?
I'm taking testosterone every single day. I take 7.5 milligrams of Accutane a day. I use crystal for hollow cheeks. I'm not a huge longevity guy.
Clavicular. Welcome to the Jack Neal Podcast.
Thank you, sir.
Clive, take me back to 14-year-old Brady.
crystal meth.
What was the exact moment you decided that natural puberty wasn't enough?
Well, I've always had the
real
mentality that if something is going to get you to your goals quicker, then why not go for it, right? So when I was a kid, obviously I wasn't the most well-versed in pharmacology, so I didn't exactly know what I was doing, but I knew that it would help me get to the place I wanted to be at a lot more efficient rate. So, skipping out on that just seemed ridiculous. I thought, why would I work out as a natural, take years to make the progress that I can make in months? It didn't make sense to me at all. I was never worried about side effects. I was just worried about progressing, right? So that's kind of always been my mentality. I'm all or nothing with everything that I do, and I just needed to do it,
All right, so let's talk about the full fitness part. He started taking steroids when he was 14, all the way up to 16, and what he's saying is factually correct. If you do take steroids, it's going to progress everything to levels that are not natural. Obviously, that's unnatural. That's why it's called steroids. And he does make a point that from his logical viewpoint, the way he perceives it, why do something half-assed when you can just go full measure and have a shortcut and get the gains that you want in a couple of years and a few months? And yes, that is correct, but there are substantial amount of side effects that come with taking steroids. Me personally, 100% natural, always been natural, always will be natural. One significant side effect that does cause me not to ever want to take steroids, at least right now, is male pattern baldness. I had a hair transplant when I was 25. I'm susceptible to that. So if I take steroids, it's gonna compound the whole entire receptors, the androgen receptors, and pretty much create more DHT in your system, which DHT is the thing that makes sure your hair follicles fall out. So if you do take steroids, it's gonna make that grow too, and then that's gonna progress your hair falling off to a certain extent. That's just one example. Another various example is with steroids, they are gonna enlarge your organs. So if you're a young guy, you're probably gonna be more prone to more medical side effects in the future, liver disease, heart issues, a multitude of other issues. Some people are not receptive towards it at all. Some people break out into rashes in their skin. Their facial skin also breaks out into a lot of acne. They get a lot of hair in the chest and other areas. Not right there, unfortunately. And another major side effect that's now becoming more prevalent is if you do take testosterone at an early age, it's also going to reduce your natural testosterone levels. And what comes with that is also reducing your natural ability to come with, to potentially have kids in the future. So there are a multitude of side effects. And obviously he stated it right now. I get he's 20 years old. Actually, he's not even 20 years old. He's 19 years old. So he's very naive and very forthcoming with his thoughts. And, you know, youth is wasted on the youth. So I wouldn't recommend doing what he's doing. But what he's saying is partially correct, that you are going to make more gains substantially if you do take steroids and not wait the whole entire natural path. But don't take steroids. You don't need it yet.
Was there a specific moment that you remember where you were like, yeah, I'm just going to hop on testosterone, like when you're 14?
Just really taking a look at, what was possible in terms of time frame. I wanted to get to my goals as quickly as possible, right? Because I always thought the idea of, telling people you work out and talking about all this stuff, but you're not big, to be just kind of ridiculous. It's like, dude, what are you actually getting after? So I was like, I'm going to get my physique going as quickly as possible. I do not care about side effects. I don't care about any implications of, this guy's using drugs. Like, none of that shit really fazed me. So I just wanted to, get to my goals as efficiently as possible.
Like what he just said is partially correct. I remember when I first started off, I was that one guy who was always talking about the gym, but I never had the results, so people wouldn't take me seriously. Nowadays, when I do talk about the gym, people do take me more seriously, but that's because I put in the time and put in the effort, and I built my base on that, but I've also expanded on top of that. So he is correct. If you are skinny and you do talk about fitness, nobody's gonna take you seriously. So that's kind of the double-edged sword, and those are the dues that you got to pay. I know I paid my dues, and I worked my ass off to attain this physique. But I'm gonna skip along this video. I don't want to ruin the whole entire hour and 40-minute podcast, so I'll probably watch a little bit and then skip a little bit more and get to more of the juicy details.
I would guess that you've asked women to rate you before, like just normally, right?
No.
No. Or like you've got a rating from a woman like on the street or something?
No.
No, nothing like that?
I mean, I've had women just, say it to me without me prompting them for it. I would just feel really weird saying, hey, can you rate me? Like, that just seems a little bit ridiculous.
Yeah, people don't
But I've
rate
heard
people
women,
like that. It's not
say,
natural.
the rating to me.
But you would say on average,
say if you're
probably
good looking
like
or if you're
8,
fine.
9,
Pretty
10
much
from
like that.
people. Like if 100 women rated you, that would probably be accurate on the normal person scale.
Right.
And then what would that kind of be on the Looksmaxing scale? Because I think what most people look at you and think is, this guy doesn't need to go from 6'2" to 6'6". You explain the reason for that. And then this guy doesn't need to change his face any because he already has like a really well above average face, if not already in the 99th percentile.
Well, what I want to say to that is extraordinary times call for extraordinary measures, right? And the extraordinary times are just how hypergamous women are nowadays, right? They're dating way above their looks level, way above their means. And the men who are not at the top percentiles are left with nothing, right? Because everyone's extremely sexually promiscuous, having tons of different sexual partners. But this is the top, right? And then everyone who's not close.
Okay, I'm going to disagree with them on that. There are some certain women that are extremely sexually promiscuous. There are some men that are also extremely sexual promiscuous, but it's also on a person-to-person basis. I know people who have different values and different like constraints that are not like that whatsoever. But I feel like the ones I feel like they get extremely overshadowed because they never really state that, nor is that really glamorized. Unlike the extreme promiscuity, that's more sensational. People look at that shit because it's entertaining. It's pretty much entertainment. So yeah, but I do kind of agree with him with the hypergamous stuff. Women are nowadays dating way above their natural league. They're becoming a little bit more entitled because of that, but that's also with age too. So I do agree. Hold up, I got long lashes, so they always get like caught up in my eyes. But what I was gonna say is, I do agree with him on trying to be the best version you could be, the top 90, the top 10% kind of guy, and work your way up to that. And build your way up to that, and that starts with fitness, and that also starts with build up your mindset too. So he is kind of correct in this particular example. It's a good play.
They're like, what the
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So that's kind of the world that we're living in now. So I would say that, with how crazy shit is, I might not be the crazy one after all for the methods I'm talking about.
So do you think this will technically ascend you by like a full point, or do you think it's going to be?
Absolutely. I would say 1 to 2 points is definitely accurate.
And then I guess I haven't really browsed the forums of the Looksmaxing community, but this is something that you were involved in like from a young age, right?
Correct.
So have you submitted a photo of yourself there and asked for a rating, or like have
Yeah.
you gotten ratings before? Like kind of give us an idea.
Yeah, so I've been rated what's called a high tier normie, is what a lot of people say. So the scale is low tier normie, mid tier normie, high tier normie, Chad light, and Chad, right? So to quantify that is a little bit difficult to, kind of explain that to normal people, because normal people would assume that the average is a 7.
All right, I'm gonna stop that. I kind of heard what he's talking about. I'm not like really versed in like high term like normie stuff. I've heard, everybody's heard what a Chad is and all that crap, like a Tom Brady. That's a Chad. Other people like that, and I feel like people who are like extremely too obsessed, especially men, that comes off as insecure. And what I've learned is you can be as attractive as you can, but if you don't have that confidence, it's not gonna show that they're instantly gonna lose attraction with you. Actually, it's all based on confidence, how you portray yourself, how you communicate with yourself, and how you communicate yourself to the other person. So it's not always about looks. Looks plays a part, but it's also the person that keeps you. That's called attraction. Attraction is the thing that gets you in the door, but your character is the thing that retains you. So don't be overly consumed on trying to looks max and all that crap, when realistically that's just one minor aspect on the whole entire thing. So let's keep rolling.
Right? Or this is what I always hear. Women will always tend to rate people that they find average, 50th percentile, as a 7, which is ridiculous, right? Because an average person would be a 5 on the look scale, right? So people are placing me high tier normie as a little bit above average, between a 6 to a 6.5 on an actual decile scale that makes sense. So that's kind of where I am, a 6 to a 6.5.
All right, I'm gonna stop it there. Whoever fucking keeps saying Mog in the 20th century, if you're like a middle-aged guy, if you're like a guy in your 20s, it's fucking stupid. It's corny as fuck. That's childish as fuck. Grow up from that. He's still like 19, he's still 20, so that's kind of his certain demographic. Those little kids and teenagers that kind of look up to him because they kind of look like him. And yeah. Also, probably, I mean, who am I to talk? I got a hair transplant when I was 25, but like I needed that, but I would not recommend doing some extremely substantial surgery like he's doing with the whole entire jaw implant. Maybe get a beard, kind of mask a little bit.
It certainly would suck if I had to get things revised, but I don't really think that that's a high likelihood.
And then when it comes to attraction, how would you differentiate what the average person thinks of attraction? Well, I can just answer this. It would probably be things like symmetry, healthy hair.
All right, let's skip along. I don't want to hear about that shit. Where's the crystal meth crap? Shout out to this guy though. He has a really good podcast. I think he's
So it's
super
a
young
huge
too.
numbers thing.
Interviewed a
It's
lot of people.
really autistic,
So
but
probably scanned his
everything's
shit.
about
All
numbers,
right,
right?
let's skip one more time.
So that could be the measurement of
It's
the
fucking
eyes
gay.
based on,
He's
you know,
talking about
the width of
fillers,
the
talking about
sinus, you know what I mean?
implants, talking about this shit.
That could be your mid-face ratio, right? So the distance
That's what
from
Looksmaxer
your
has
eyes,
kind of
you know,
become,
to your,
honestly. It's
outer part of your lips. And
trying to
this is
make
supposed
men
be
into
more
fucking feminine bitches all the
facial
time.
width, right?
No
So the
offense,
width
but
of your
it's
jaw relative to the width
so
of your
fucking
cheekbone.
annoying. But
There's all these different, because a lot of people
All right,
don't
let's
know
skip
that meth
along.
has different isomers, right? So the
all right, it's
street
gonna be
meth,
the
the
last one.
L
Legitimately the
methamphetamine
last one.
is what people are
I'm at an hour
smoking,
and
what
20
people are
minutes and
tweaking out on,
46 seconds.
and what makes them
all right, let's see what it says.
right? So this is not the stuff that I'm using, right? I'm using like very, very low therapeutic dosages of D-methamphetamine, which is actually something that's prescribed by
meth?
doctors. It's called Disoxin. I say meth as a shock factor because of how outrageous it sounds. So with people watching Breaking Bad and seeing meth tweakers, you hear, oh my God, this guy's so crazy. But you actually inform people, no, Disoxin is a prescribed medication, and I'm taking a very low dose of this, like
So he's
10
lying
times
about the
lower
crystal
than
meth?
the prescribed amount. Just as a mild stimulant, it's much more mild than Adderall, actually, and it works a little better for me, and I use it to lean max, right? So I'm pretty much using meth for hollow cheeks.
Yeah.
So that's kind of where we're at in terms of looks maxing. But I just like to say stuff like that for the shock factor because it's just like an initial hook. But then I can really explain it to you, and you realize, hey, that's actually not so crazy.
Okay. And then that's all you take in a day?
No, and I also will take retatrutide once a week. I take melanotan 2 every single day.
How much
Melanotan?
retatrutide do you take?
That's
I
for
take 15 milligrams.
to make your skin a little bit more
And that
darker.
would be considered
a
a
little bit
fairly
of
high
a little bit
dose.
of a tan.
Extremely high dose. Yes, it's a gigadose of retatrutide. But I value my leanness extremely highly. That can be, certainly a problematic dose in terms of the heart rate from the glucagon receptor. It's definitely not a healthy dose. Retatrutide will increase your lifespan. Retatrutide is incredibly healthy and good for you, but definitely not at that dose. So there's a little bit of nuance there. So I'm taking retatrutide, melanotan 2. I'll take IGF-1 occasionally, and HGH.
Any recreational ones?
Yeah, so I use a lot of pregabalin and baclofen for being a little bit more low inhibition to kind of take me over the edge. These are not things that are used daily, but they are used for weekends for going out because I think that alcohol is evil but necessary. But these things are a good way to replicate alcohol and copy similar mechanisms without being as toxic to your liver, being as neurotoxic, and ruining some of your growth pathways for the gym.
So they kill anxiety pretty much, but they don't make you dumb necessarily?
Well, they do, and they certainly can have neurotoxicity issues, but they're just not as bad as alcohol. And alcohol is really going to limit your ability to synthesize protein, your mTOR. So there's a lot of problems for people who want to have a good physique in alcohol. You'll notice when you're hungover and you try to train in the gym, it just isn't the same. With this stack that I'm taking, it's not as problematic, right? So I just don't advise this always on a broad scale because, with alcohol, it's rate limited. You really can't fuck yourself up because if you start to drink too much, you throw up. Whereas this stuff, if not done under careful supervision, people can take too much. People can seize. People can run into issues. And I just don't trust a lot of normies IQ to be able to use this reasonably, but I do trust myself.
All right, so we got the answer to the whole entire crystal meth thing. So it's not really crystal meth. It's the other kind of like not like methamphetamine, but what he just said, and he kind of just uses crystal meth as a hook vector to kind of get everybody's attention, just like me. It worked for me. So far, what I've gauged from this guy is obviously he's still young. He's 19. His vanity is extreme to the 10th degree. He's narcissistic. He's self-centered, obviously, and he's just a young guy. Hopefully, he kind of grows and evolves from this kind of character that I think he's portraying. And we all portray a character. Hell, even I portray a character too, to a certain extent, because that's what everybody does. But yeah, I want to show you guys one more little clip. Hold up, it's actually this little short. So, as much looks as you can do, looks maxing you could do, it's still not going to build a character. It's still not going to build your Riz kind of factor too. So this is what he was doing, hold up, to a girl when he met her at the club. Also, I think he was live streaming. I fucking hate those live streaming shits. Why do people watch that? But look at this short real quick.
I'm trying to get up inside you, honey. We'll chit chat after.
Okay, bye. That's awful.
Girl.
I really think that's like the best pickup line you have in the cars. I feel like that'd get like a hooker, maybe.
I can't keep it in my brain. I can't keep it in my pants.
Okay, save that for somebody else then.
Yeah, he was lying to himself too. I think he was just trying to get that for a little bit of validation, a little bit of attention. But honestly, I think he probably should have be put in jail for kind of something like that. That's sexual harassment. Don't ever do that. Yeah, Clavicular. Obviously, he's a good-looking guy. He's a Looksmaxer, and he has kind of those genetic qualities, and he's made himself even look better from those genetic qualities. He's very smart. He could articulate extremely well. So that makes people gravitate towards him, because when you say something with enough conviction, with enough articulation, people tend to believe that. So you can say anything salacious, man. If it sounds good, it sounds good. People are not gonna like really look into it, but yeah, he's a young guy. Don't look up for him for advice. Like I always say, take some of his shit with a grain of salt. Take a little bit from him, take a little bit from somebody else, and try to maximize yourself and Looksmaxer yourself that way, in my opinion. But yeah, that was my whole review on Clavicular. Would you break your bones, your jaw bones, to kind of Looksmaxer? Would you get that limb lengthening surgery that he's gonna get? Would you take crystal meth like he kind of promoted? And yeah, would you try to pick up a girl saying his fucking pickup line? Don't do that, you'll get put in jail. It's been your boy Coach Ed. I have a free online dating ebook guide. If you guys do want to get those matches and kind of go along that dating pathway in a more normal kind of state, normal kind of sense, use that at your own regard. Don't be too pushy with it. If it works, it works. Let me know how it works in the comments down below. Let me know what your opinions are of Clavicular in the comments down below too. Love to fucking hear them. And as always, it's been your boy Coach Ed. See you later.